world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Josh Hose Show. I'm your host, Dave Sheets, along with the head coach of the Ashland Tigers, Josh Hose. We want to thank our season-long sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. Coach, welcome back to the show.
I'm excited to do another one with you.
Well, Josh, after two more games this past week, your Tigers are now sitting with an 8-8 record. Let's start with last Tuesday night's home loss to Boardman. Tell us more about that game.
Well, Boardman game, we actually started off really hot, and then we cooled off. Second, third, and fourth quarter, we really couldn't put the ball in the hoop. And so, and they went into a zone that in the first quarter, even in the second quarter, we kind of had our way with it and got some good shots and got, getting to the hoop and or getting to the rim. Mm-hmm. Eli was doing a great job getting downhill. Chris Knight got he had 8 points off the bat. Real quick, and he had 2 quick fouls within the first 4 minutes. So we, our philosophy is usually try to sit as much as possible, get them to halftime with those 2 fouls. Because, coming in, second half with 3 fouls, now you're really in hot water. And Chris, he unfortunately had a hot start, and you just wanted to kind of capitalize on that. But anyways, we were able to keep the lead. I think we had a 9 or 11 point lead with about 3 minutes left in the half, and then we go in at halftime up 7. I remember talking to the guys about, we should have been up at least 11 to 15, mm-hmm. and because you just had that feel like they weren't shooting it well and whatever, which has been kind of the trend with them. But they got to go on third and fourth quarter. They got hot, and their guys were shooting some crazy shots that did not see on film, and then so they got the lead on us, and we just couldn't get back on track. And it's just one of those things that you hear all the time, like you don't let a team hang around. And I think we had some untimely turnovers. Sometimes our young guys, they play young. They play like sophomores and freshmen, and make some of those mistakes that you just live with. But Boardman's a well-coached team. They're a good program, and when your records sometimes kind of like playing Perry, you tell the guys look who they're playing. The record's not indicative of who they are, and they end up getting us. Like I said, we just couldn't overcome the shooting slumps.
And I know one of the things that jumps out on the stat line, and we talked about this before we started the show, at the free throw line in that loss, your Tigers hit just 9 out of 26. Yeah. So as a coach, what can you and your staff do to help turn things around in that area?
Well, it's funny, and I wanted to make sure I looked this up. We were 13 of 15 against Perry, 2 games prior to that, and then the game prior to that at Hudson, I think we were 29 of 36 at the foul line. Wow. And so 2 games that were decided in the last possession of the game, we and one went to overtime, we shot it exceptionally well. And I just feel like it's a thing that sometimes you get in one trend where it's like, guys are going to the line just knocking down shots, and it just becomes like they don't even think about it. But then when you go up there, and I think early in the game, Eli missed 2. Drew, who's an 80% foul shooter, goes up and misses 2. Chris goes 1 for 3. And that was later in the game, but still, and it happens early. It just seems like guys are going up there, and it's almost the other way, becomes contagious. And we work on foul shooting every day. We don't sit there and just line up and shoot fouls. We do different drills that are kind of building some stress or some pressure. And typically, we've been around that 70% range as a team. So it was just an off night. Like I said, it's almost like that across the board, from the field and from the line. We could not get the ball go through the hoop.
Then last Friday, you traveled to Youngstown Ursuline, lost to the Irish. What do you remember most about that game?
I was really proud of our kids. Ursuline, I told him, they're one of the better teams we played, but in my head after watching on film, and this is not disrespecting any other team we played, I said they might be the best team we played all year, but I didn't want to tell our guys that going into the game. But they just are experienced, they have athleticism, they're quick, they play up and down, and on their longer court, they're even more dangerous. Their court's, what did he tell me, it was 98 feet, not 94 feet. So, 2 feet on each end of the court difference, and they really get out and run. And so we did a really good job with them. up through the end of the third quarter. And, and I go back and watch that one on film. I think there was about 3 minutes left in the third, or 4 minutes left in the third, where it's a 1-point game. And we go into the fourth down 8, which wasn't bad. We had just a couple of costly turnovers right at the end of the quarter. Again, young guys playing young, making some mistakes. And then we missed probably 3 or 4 shots close to the rim. I don't want to say they were layups because they weren't point blank open, but they were contested shots at the rim that, roll off the rim, and we need those to drop. And so we go into fourth, and we couldn't buy a bucket. They get hot. They extend lead, and then, really started to get pressure on us, and, we had to foul. So we end up down, and losing that one by 21. But, everybody says that, I talked to a couple college coaches that were talking to Eli after the game, and they're like, that score is not, an indicator of the type of game it was. I was really proud of our kids because we went in their place on the road, which is tough to play up in Youngstown, and we played really well. We went toe-to-toe with them. We got down 15 early, cut it back to 1. Just played a really good game overall, just had a bad fourth quarter.
As your team takes the floor for each game, describe for us your offensive game plan.
Well, we have a dribble drive offense, and then we use a little bit of the Euro ball screen that everybody runs. You watch enough film, everybody's running the same stuff. Our philosophy, we always say key, free, or 3. So the philosophy in our offense is get to the key for a shot at the hoop, get fouled, go to the free throw line, or get a kick out 3. And sometimes when we get out of balance is when we reverse it, we get 3 heavy, early, and so we always talk about playing inside out, and really we're at our best when we're attacking downhill. We call it downhill at the rim, and playing inside out, where we're passing that ball out if we don't get the shot at the rim. Now some teams are playing us. I think a lot of this, a tribute to Eli. He's such a tough matchup for teams. A lot of teams are jumping in zones against us. I know Boardman did, Ursuline did. I don't know if I can't remember if Perry did. Hudson did a little bit, but it's just like because they can't, a 6'7" kid that can handle the ball and shoot outside and attack the back. Like, he's a tough matchup. I know he would, for us in typical years, that would be a guy you really have a hard time matching up with. So he's a unique specimen that way. So we're facing some things that defensively that you don't see always on film. You see a team that plays mostly man and they jump in a zone against you, and so be adaptable. But I think for us, our young guys have got to just do a better job sometimes of understanding how to attack a zone, and when to dribble it. When to, sometimes we get too pass heavy and we turn into, like we say, it's like shell drill, and other times we get to a point where we try to do too much off the dribble. So finding that balance is tough. But I think that's pretty much to answer your question. Our philosophy is we want to play aggressive, try to get high percentage shots. We call them 7s. It's a long story, so I won't get into that. But hunt for those 7s, uncontested, in rhythm and in range. And then if you don't have it, pass the ball to where the help came from and re-attack or shoot that one.
All right, thanks. In a moment, we'll meet a Tiger player, but first, this word from Reliable Heating and Cooling.
Everything that goes into a Lennox system is engineered for absolute comfort. Like the parts that create your perfect temperature and humidity, or the parts that purify the air. Together, all these parts save you up to half off your heating and cooling bills. And there are few things more comforting than that.
The future of home comfort is here now at Reliable Heating and Cooling. Get the latest innovation and technology at Reliable.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Thanks to Reliable Heating and Cooling, and welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Our Tiger player joining us this week is senior co-captain Gabe Knight. Gabe, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. Gabe, we always ask this question, and I'll pose it to you. How old were you when you first learned the game of basketball, and do you remember who taught you the game?
So I remember when I was very young, I used to have this little Tykes basketball hoop. I used to play on it all the time. And then when I was about 6 or 7 years old, for my birthday, I got upgraded to a bigger basketball hoop. So that's really when I started playing. So then in 4th grade, my dad was a coach of our 4th grade team. Elijah was on there. And we ended up winning the 4th grade championship for the Boys and Girls Club. So that's really when I think I started seeing myself progress playing basketball.
Excellent. Good. What are some of the things you worked on in the off season to improve your game?
Well, during the off season, I started lifting a lot more because I was really skinny during the off season. So getting stronger was definitely a thing, getting a little bit faster. And coming off an injury last year, the ankle sprain, and I had some knee problems, just working on those, going to like physical therapy and stuff.
Did you set any personal goals for yourself coming into your senior year?
Well, one of the goals, getting a lot more confident. Like sometimes I could be a little bit timid, so getting more confident and overall just becoming a better player. I think I've achieved those, but there's still always room to grow.
You were voted in as one of the 3 captains on this year's team. What did that moment mean to you, and how would you describe your leadership style as a captain?
Well, at first, I didn't really want to be a captain, but then my teammates were like, yeah, Gabe should be a captain, Gabe should be a captain. So I was like, So I see they really wanted me to be a captain, so I said, yeah, I felt good about it. Felt good leading my team. What is my leadership style? I'd say more by example. I'm not the loudest person, so leading by example is more my thing, and my actions.
Okay. I understand that you are part of something called BBA. What is BBA and how did it get started?
The BBA stands for the Bench Bros Association. It started last year. Me and Chase were the co-founders of the BBA, and well, now Chase has left us, so I'm the leader, really, of the BBA. It's me, Bryson, Drew. We all end of the bench, get our call in, BBA on 3, and then we cheer on our teammates.
Do you think the BBA will continue after you graduate?
I'm hoping to pass it down to someone that really deserves it.
Okay. And finally, do you have a nickname?
No, not currently.
Okay. So who has the best nickname on the team and what is it?
The best nickname has to go Big Smooth,
Okay.
Eli.
Eli. All right. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago. That's a good one. That's a good one. Thanks for joining us, Gabe.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. All right, Coach Hoser will join us on the show once again after we have this timeout.
Hello, and welcome to the Stark County Humane Society. Today we're going to give you a few pointers when considering adopting a new furry friend. All animals here at the Stark County Humane Society are spayed, neutered, microchipped, vaccinated, dewormed, and if old enough, heartworm tested for our canine friends. Adopters will receive a free exam within 2 weeks of adoption at local veterinarian hospitals. We encourage all adopters to take full advantage of this. A one-time adoption fee is required for your new furry friend. When you adopt, you get an awesome adoption packet that includes treats for your new fur baby and savings for you. But this is not where the cost of adoption stops. Did you know the average cost of an animal like a new puppy or kitten can cost up to $500 annually? This includes annual veterinarian visits, preventative care, and everyday supplies like crate, litter, food, toys. But I hope this doesn't scare you away. Adopting an animal is a huge responsibility and a commitment. Please take the time to consider the cost of adopting a new pet into your family today. I hope to see you soon at the Stark County Humane Society. Please visit our website or visit us on social media for more information.
And welcome back to the Josh Ho Show. Coach, we just spoke with senior co-captain Gabe Knight in our last segment. Tell us more about Gabe and his impact on the team.
Gabe is one of the coolest kids I've ever coached. Like, he's just a great teammate, and I respect the heck out of what he's about. And we have one of our core, our core values, or spell team, is toughness, effort, attitude, and me second. And he embodies all of those. He is definitely a me second guy. Doesn't play a ton of minutes for us, but he has such an impact on. That's why he's a captain in our locker room. On our bench, the Bench Bros Association, and he started that with Chase Duplain last year. And it's just not like you don't anticipate playing, but it's like embracing your role and how can I impact the game or impact the team from this position down here. And so I think every one of his teammates acknowledges what a great teammate he is, and they always talk about he knows everything that you're supposed to be doing. So when they come off, they can talk to him. He can tell them what to do on this play, where to be, And there's value in that, and I think there's a lot of coaches that were probably Gabe Knights. I was, similar to Gabe Knight in high school, so I appreciate and respect what he does and where he's at as a player.
And good teams really need guys like that.
100%. You don't have enough of them.
Right.
Talking to coaches, you can't have 15 guys that all want 30 minutes a game.
Right. Mm-hmm. 2 more games coming up this week. This Saturday, February 4th, you'll be on the road at Ashland. That's always a tough matchup. Tell us about the Arrows.
Well, the Arrows are down this year from their past couple of years because they graduated all their Denbos. Luke Denbo last year I was giving Curtis a hug after the game last year because he held him to 32 points, and it's just a quality player, right. And so he graduated, but they still got some guys that can shoot it, and they're tough at home. Mm-hmm. Got a great pep band out there. It's just a good environment that they play well, and so we got to be ready to go for that one. And it's a long road trip, so you're going out there, you're going to a foreign gym that. You don't always get the calls on the road. We lost a close one up there 2 years ago. And so, I just think they'll be ready to play. They play a back-to-back the night before they have a league game. Mm-hmm. And, Coach Pierce and I were just talking about this. Our kids, we usually get the best from the other teams. Like, they're out of league game, they get a little excited that the Tigers are coming to town. So we get, everybody's best shot. And, it helps get you ready for the tournament, but at the same time, you get these teams that are really up to play you. So we got to match their intensity, their preparation, all that, and get ready to go.
Then next Tuesday, February 7th, you come back home to face Wadsworth. What do you know about the Grizzlies?
Another good team. Our road moving forward is not easy. Wadsworth, they had Jamie Bosley's son as a senior for them, and then another name. I get his name backwards all the time. But Callahan is his last name. Sullivan. Callahan, he's going to Wright State on a basketball scholarship, so full ride. Really good players. So they got 2 really high-quality basketball players. Played them on the road last year up there, a little short-handed, and we played them tough. We right down to the last minute, we had a chance. But they want to get up and down. They score the ball well. They're obviously very talented, team. They play in a tough conference. So another game we got to be ready to go for. Luckily we have that one at home this year. Hopefully we can use that, get a good crowd and, get these, students behind the kids here because we're going to need them against Wadsworth.
So as we head into February this week, is this the time of the season where you might see your team start showing signs of fatigue or maybe losing their competitive edge a little bit?
I see the fatigue is always a thing. I haven't seen the competitive edge because our guys are playing really hard and they play really well. But it's a natural thing. It's a long season. I don't think people understand that aren't in a winter sport. Like you have, Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year's, all the breaks, all the other things. It's a long season. Mm-hmm. A lot of our guys are coming out of a fall sport or getting ready for a spring sport. So there's always those distractions that are naturally there. We do things like we took, Saturday we took a day off. So we had Saturday, Sunday off going into this because, rest sometimes versus work, it's like, what are we getting? What's value there? I know tomorrow or, today, actually, we're going to be going to the Mount Union game and going out to eat. Instead of a practice, we're going to go eat at the Amish door and then go watch Mount Union play BW tonight. So we're looking forward to that. The guys, something different to get away from the gym, but spend some time together. So you try to find those opportunities, like getting something to eat, going watching a game, do something away from the court or whatever it is, team building, bonding, whatever it is, that's maybe not wearing them out so they don't get the fatigue. And it's not just physical, it's mental sometimes too. So you need to get away from things and just have some fun and keep the guys engaged.
Well, good luck with both games.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thanks, Josh, and that'll do it for another edition of the Josh Host Show. And we want to thank our sponsor, Reliable Heating and Cooling. And thanks again to Coach Hose and Senior Co-Captain Gabe Knight for joining us. I'm your host, Dave Sheets. Remember, we will not have a show next week, but we will return on Wednesday, February 15th with a brand new show. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Tigers.
Massillon City Schools is proud to have one of the top career technical education programs in the state of Ohio, recently receiving a #1 ranking of the 93 districts in the area of achievement. Our Career Technical Education Department offers 14 pathways preparing students for college and careers. All students have the opportunity to participate and compete in their career technical student organization, as well as obtain valuable experience in the field while earning aligned industry credentials and/or college credit in high school. Visit massillonschools.org for more information.
Around here, we like to cheer for the local team, and MCTV is here to connect you to the game. MCTV provides reliable high-speed internet and Wi-Fi. From checking scores online, to streaming games or watching replays, or even playing the game yourself, we've got the speed you need. Call today to add or upgrade internet service. We're connecting what matters most. MCTV. We go the extra smile.